Hi, I'm Mark. This is my June review for Leo Sun sign and Leo rising. This month we have the two most important aspects of the year becoming exact for the second time, and also there is our first solar eclipse. But we start on the first, and the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node and a sextile to Chiron, who's in your 9th house. Now the Sun and the North Node are in the 11th house. So what's this about? Well, it's about your beliefs, and it's about changing your goals, setting new goals, new dreams for the future. Over the past year your beliefs would have changed, things would have a different light now, so you need to now put this knowledge you have into practice. It might be a good time to talk about this with people, maybe a mentor or a teacher who can help you to formulate these goals, or even friends, because the 11th house is also about friends and networking. So it's a good time to network with friends also and get their input, their ideas, so you can set your goals for the future. On the 2nd, we have the biggest aspect of the year coming into a tight orb for the second time. This is the square between Uranus and Saturn, and it will be exact on the 24th of June, and it will be exact again on the 24th of December. This is a year-long aspect, and it will last even longer into next year. Now, we have the rebelliousness of Uranus up against the structure and form of Saturn. So this is where the struggle is. This is where all the unrest is at the moment in our society. There's social justice issues, there are rebellious marches, and there are also strange weather patterns that are developing. Now, what does it mean? Well, for you, Leo, the Saturn, the limitations and the structure is all in your 7th house. This comes through other people. So this is what you may be kicking back against or rebelling against. And you want change. Uranus is in your career, so you want changes within your career and your public standing in the 10th house area. But it may be other people that are limiting you and the structures they've placed around you that you're having to fight against. Now, there are positive things come out of this aspect. Venus was born out of the conflict between these two in Greek mythology, and so this aspect often raises the status of women, and we can see back when the last time these two came together back in the 70s, Mrs. Thatcher became Prime Minister of England, and then this time under this aspect we have our first female Vice President in the US, and we've also had just recently the first female jockey to win the Grand National Horse Race. So this aspect does have some positive sides, and one of them is to raise the status of women. You may be able to get some insight into this square aspect because on the 2nd Mars makes a sextile to the Black Moon Lilith, and Black Moon Lilith is in the same house and same sign as Uranus. So there may be an insight here where you'll be able to see yourself clearly and your motivations and see where the unrest is and what you can do about it. And it's good to talk about your discoveries as well. Then on the 3rd, Venus makes a movement into Cancer, and this is your 12th house. And normally she'll be very outgoing and friendly, happy, because she makes an aspect with Jupiter, but you may find you're a little bit more subdued and a little bit less likely to want to socialise with Venus being in that 12th house of Cancer. But this is also a good time that you can help other people. You also have a Sun trine aspect to Saturn in your 7th house. So it's a good time you can help other people, especially with their finances or their problems and issues at the moment. The only thing to be aware of is that Mercury makes a square to Neptune, and this lasts for 5 days. So communications may be a little bit strained, it may be difficult to understand people or get your point across, but just bear with it. On the 4th, Mars makes an opposition to Pluto. Now, this would normally be quite a tense time, but Mars is coming right to the end of your 12th house, so you won't really be up for the fight with Mars in that position in Cancer. There may be a power struggle, or there may be something, but I think it could be that it's just too big a struggle. It's too big a fight and you may not be up for it. But if you decide to, then you need to enlist the help of others, because you'll need to work together with other people on this one. Then on the 6th there's another instance whereby it's saying to you, you need to compromise, you need to balance things out, because the Sun makes an opposition to Juno, and Juno's about compromise, and it could do with the issues of freedom and closeness. You know, how much freedom have you got? How much freedom do you need? How much freedom you've given other people? There may be a compromise here that needs to be had. So the 4th and the 6th is about compromise. Try not to go it alone, because you might find that it's just too much for you. On the 7th we have another aspect from Pluto, this time to the black moon Lilith, who's in your 10th house. Pluto in that 7th house. This is a good time to look at relationships, and if there are any power struggles, how you can resolve them, and how you can look at other issues as well, and to create harmony within your relationships that fit in with what you want to do and your destined way forward, your path forward. On the 8th we have the second biggest aspect of the year coming into a tight orb. This is a sextile between Chiron and Saturn. And this will be exact on the 24th of June and exact for the last time on the 26th of November. Now, Chiron hopefully can bring understanding, wisdom and knowledge, and shed light on the tensions that are in the square aspect between Uranus and Saturn. Chiron's orbit is in between these two. It's an irregular orbit, but he can make a breach between the two worlds and hopefully bring together some kind of healing process and understanding that will make things work out well. On the 10th we have our first solar eclipse of the year. This is happening in Gemini on 19 degrees. This solar eclipse belongs to the Saros 5 North series and is renowned for bringing hunches, dreams, messages from the unconscious or the psychic realms. If you get any of these hunches, visualizations or dreams, you need to act on them straight away, because they are very important. Now, this eclipse being in your 11th house, it's going to be very good to start networking, reaching out to people, because you can do better with the help of others. Either in a social status or in a professional status, you can reach out now and network. People can help you form your new ideas. You have to be ready now for a change of direction. So you need to, like we said earlier in the start of the video, you need to form new goals, new aims for the future that you can work towards. Now, if you have planets in any of the mutable signs, that's Pisces, Sagittarius or Virgo, at around 15 to 25 degrees, then you will be strongly affected by this eclipse. And also if you've got anything at 19 degrees Gemini, that will be a crunch position. On the 10th there's another aspect that may be able to help you with the Saturn-Uranus square. We have Ceres in a conjunction with Uranus in your 10th house. So now this will give you a bigger understanding, a better understanding of things, and also about how you care for others and your independence as well. You know, have you got the balance right there? And your intuitive side will be more sensitive, and you'll be able to see and understand things a lot clearer. Now the Sun makes a conjunction with Mercury as well on that day, so you may not be able to put this into words, because a lot of this feeling is intuitive and coming through from another source. You may not be able to put it into words, you may not be able to express yourself to others of what's happening. Then on the 12th, good news, because Mars moves into your sign of Leo, and this will give you a big boost of Mars energy, fire energy, and this will get you going for the next few weeks. Also on that day, Venus makes a couple of aspects. Venus is in the 12th house, so a little bit subdued at the moment, so the Mars energy will be much more prevalent. Venus makes an aspect to Uranus, so you may just want to try some new things, but also make sure that you're still chilled out and relaxed. You don't want to put yourself under too much pressure. Venus's other aspect is to Chiron, so again this is a good time to think about things, to reflect and to see where there's any issues from the past maybe that need some healing or letting go of. On Sunday the 13th it might be a day just to chill out and relax. The Sun makes a square to Neptune, and this always makes it a little bit of a lethargic day. You're probably not up to doing too much. But if you just want to chill out and relax with friends, that would be good, because you've got the Sun in your 11th house just coming to the end, so make the most of that, and don't do anything too strenuous. Then on the 20th, Jupiter goes retrograde in your 8th house. Now there's lessons to be learned when a planet is retrograde, and in the 8th house Jupiter can teach us about truth, searching for the real truth. Also about handling the affairs of others with trustworthiness. And the third lesson is to look and discover that death is a beginning and not an end. Between the 21st and 23rd, Venus makes 2 aspects, and you have to be aware of yourself over this period. You have to be very aware, and because things can change very easily. The first aspect is a trine to Neptune, which can cause delusion, and the real world may seem unreal, and vice versa, the unreal world may seem very real. So you have to be very careful there. Positive side of that is you can use your creative ideas and imagination. That is fine. The other aspect is an opposition to Pluto, and this forms very, very intense energy and feelings, and also impulses can come up from subconscious that you're not really aware of, so you have to make sure that you know what's going on and keep in full control. Also power struggles can happen with this aspect as well. While this is going on, we have a move from the Sun, goes into Cancer in your 12th house, so there'll be a month now where you'll be quite reflective and withdrawn, and you can work behind the scenes ready for when the Sun comes fully out in your 1st house in a month's time. Now the other good news is that Mercury turns direct in Gemini. This is your 11th house, so this will help you with communication now, and you'll be able to carry on with that networking with full force. On the 24th we have a full moon. The full moon's in Capricorn and your 6th house. Now with the moon being in the 6th house, you may be prone to making some really bold statements. You may say, right, I'm going to quit my job, I'm fed up, I'm going to have another job, or I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to start exercising and going to the gym. These kind of statements can come with the moon in the 6th house. But what you really have to do is align yourself with what's best for you. And we have Venus, Black Moon aspect on the same day, which will help you do this. It will help you align yourself to what's best for you. The other things we need to be careful of is how you go about making these changes. Don't be too bold, don't be too quick. Think about what you're going to do. Think about the consequences of quitting something or taking a new exercise routine up. You know, you have to look after your health as well. There's no good doing things that will endanger your health even more, or endanger your well-being even more. You need to keep sensible, keep real, and do what's best for you, and get to that finish line. On the 25th, Neptune goes retrograde till December, but again we can work with the retrograde energy. Now the lessons here are to develop spirituality and a belief system that fits in with a group environment. Also to develop responsibility for other people's money and other people's property. Then on the 27th, Mars makes a positive aspect to the Moon's North Node. Now this is in your 11th house, don't forget, we talked about this at the beginning of the video when the Sun made a conjunction. Add the Mars energy now. You've got Mars in your sign, full of energy. Put that energy into networking. Put that energy into setting new goals, and really put things into action now. Network. You can do a lot better and achieve a lot more when you're working with others rather than trying to go it alone. Then on the 30th, Mars makes an opposition to Saturn. Now this is a very complicated aspect because it also sets up a T-square with Uranus. Now T-squares are very challenging aspects, and this can cause a lot of frustration and tension. Remember, Mars in your 1st house, this is going to affect you personally. Saturn in the 7th house means others will be involved. But what we can do is look to the empty space on the cross, which will be Scorpio in your 4th house. So if you can look to the past, look to what you've learned and understood in the past and bring that to the present situation. Maybe talents you have, maybe things you've learned from the past, from your family or from your roots, that you can use now to fill that T-square and make it into a cross and turn the challenging tension into dynamic energy where you can really achieve. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.